Are you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Amy Houde.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Houde, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I am your host, Jim Beaver, back in the house on yet another Monday. And I got to tell you, we got a banger of a show for you today. Kicking things off, we've got our Formula Drift post-event interview. Our guest in the hot seat this week, none other than Ryan Sage, the man behind Formula Drift. Been a few rounds since we've had Ryan on air, and we decided, hey, let's bring him back. Obviously, Osbo winning yet again. We've had Turk on air, and it's been a few rounds. So, as we kind of wind down the year, we've got that points battle heating up. Figured, you know what, let's get Ryan back on air and, recap where we're at, in the season thus far. So it should be a great interview with Ryan. That coming up in just about any time. And then we've got a guy that a lot of you may know the name, kind of fell off the grid for a while, Rat Sult, X Games gold medalist in street luge, and a guy that has just dominated street luge forever. Anyways, he's promoting off-road events. We've got him on air. We've got the new UTV long jump world record holder Tanner Godfrey throwing it down at Evel Knievel days. He's going to be on air, and then my co-host Amy Houde, she's capping off the show like only Amy can. So great show lining up, but right now looks like we got Ryan Sage calling in. How's everything going, Ryan?
Hey, how are you, Jim?
I am doing good, buddy. I got to tell you, man, we're kind of winding down this Formula Drift season. Got a couple of rounds left, but no shortage of excitement.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. It's been pretty crazy, no doubt about it. I mean, we've had 4 out of 5 rounds that have had some level of moisture in them, either near the finals or on qualifying day. But we've had great crowds, and it's the championship definitely took a turn in a certain direction this past weekend. So there's a lot to digest. A ton of things transpired on course that it's almost as if you didn't even know Frederick also won the event because so many other things were going on. But it was pretty exciting. Yeah,
well, and that's one thing I've always, you mentioned it, that you guys have pretty much have sellout crowds just about every venue, and that's one thing I've loved about you guys. I mean, a lot of, there's a lot of racing that has great TV ratings. A lot of, you guys kill it on the online stream, you know what I mean, and you guys have, pulling great numbers there. But your live attendance, I mean, where other venues are fighting to get people through the gates, and you see almost a ghost town. I mean, you guys are always packing the house.
Yeah, I mean, this last round in Seattle, we actually, the track added some additional grandstands and opened up additional space because we had a sellout the year prior. And we were able, even with the rain, we were able to get in about 700 more people. It was our largest attended event that we've had in Seattle. Right next to those numbers are getting pretty close to the Irwindale, Long Beach realm. So it's a great market, and they're not afraid of the rain.
Yeah. Well, and, talking about the rain, I mean, as these teams go into a round, I mean, obviously they know how to drift, when conditions are perfect, and dry. How do the teams have to adjust when there's moisture in the track and rain coming down?
It's hard to adjust. There's wet setups and dry setups, but obviously if it's going from dry to wet, quickly and it's not anticipated, then obviously it's harder for teams to adjust. I mean, I think teams have made some pretty good adjustments so far this year. What the big challenge is that obviously we go to tracks that have different surfaces, and this track in particular has a very unique surface in the sense that they run drag racing on the track as well. So you have a patch of really, really thick rubber that's laid down on the specific area of the course that we drift over. That's great for the dry conditions, but not very good for the wet conditions. And so drivers, really have to make a choice of how much they want to commit to these runs when the rain is coming down. But what we've seen is that it tends to favor the guys that have a lot of experience in wet conditions, the European drivers or drivers from Japan.
Yeah. Well, talking about drivers and experiences, I gotta tell you, because this name, obviously took second this weekend. I'd heard of the guy, but to be honest with you, I never really paid much attention. He's got my attention now, and I'm gonna butcher the last name, but Alec Houde, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Houde.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about this guy, because literally out of left field, here he comes, and I'm looking at his bracket, and he had to knock out Daigo, Forsberg. He had no easy he had no easy battles, and to take second, this kid, look, he's 19. That's solid.
Yeah, I've been saying it for the past couple rounds. He's definitely one to look out for if you're looking for somebody new to cheer for in the series. He's definitely somebody to keep your eye out for. And now that he's got his first podium, I think he kind of made that pretty apparent. He had one of the toughest brackets, and he does have a really well built car, and I think that along with his kind of innate ability for competitive driving and drifting. Being that he's been an athlete in other forms of sports and motorsports, has really started to kind of shine through a little bit here. And I think he's in the top 10 now. He's ranked 8, and this is only his second year of competition.
Yeah. Well, and that's, that's got to really, I know we've talked a little bit about, Thursday Night Drift, and then, obviously Pro 2. It's got to really, put cloud into the ladder system you guys are trying to build, where a kid like this can come up and work his way up, get his pro license, and now come in and be competitive. Yeah,
absolutely. He represents a certain segment of the country, and a lot of the pro-am guys that have been knowledgeable of him have certainly been rooting him on. So he's got a really good fan base. And, utilizing the system to make it into the Pro Series and being successful year 2, I think is, saying a lot. So, obviously it's still relatively, close to the end of the season here. And I'm sure we'll be able to see some additional opportunities of him once again.
Yeah, for sure. So looking at the year as a whole, we got 2 rounds left. What do we expect out of those 2 rounds? Obviously, Osbo, he's hitting his stride. He is definitely on point at this point in time. But, what do you expect out of these next 2 rounds? We still, points are pretty tight. I know Turk's still hanging around there, and I know he'd love nothing more than to get a driver's championship. So, what are we looking at the next couple of rounds, you think?
Well, I think drivers are really going to have to reset, especially those that didn't do as well as they would have liked this round. The Forsbergs, Odes, even Gucci, really need to think about what their strategy is going into the next 2 rounds, because there's only so many points up on board. There's a maximum of 224 points left. And so, Oslo is going to have to falter. He's going to have to get knocked out early by somebody, draw somebody really strong in top 32 or top 16, for there to be a real legitimate chance for the other guys that are behind them. It's still totally possible, and we saw this same kind of thing last year, in reverse order, where Oslo was trying to chase down a big lead, a big gap, and he was able to do that. And then we got down to the last run of the last round of the year at Irwindale to decide the championship. But Turk, Ode, Gucci, Forsberg, I think those are our guys. Those are the guys that are going to have an opportunity to take the championship away from Oslo, but it's going to be tough work.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the way Osbo's been drifting. The guy just he almost looks unbeatable at times. He's he found that zone, and he's just running with it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it sometimes on the live stream, but, we don't really get into it in depth. I mean, one of the things that at least my observation is that one of the things you see with the teams that really understand the sport and how to be successful is they focus on every single aspect of the sport. They don't necessarily just throw caution to the wind like it might seem. Oslo's team is definitely his team leader, Stefan Papadakis, is very analytical. They're constantly asking questions and qualifying about how to, trying to figure out ways to squeeze out those precious extra points. They ask very good questions about what the judges are specifically looking for in specific areas of the course, and they try to follow that to a T. So not only can they, give themselves the best possible advantage, they know what the judges want to see in certain circumstances. So he's one of those guys. Forsberg's one of those guys. They really take a deep look at the sport, and a lot of other drivers could probably learn from that.
Yeah. Looking forward at to the last two rounds. Obviously, we've got Texas on tap, and then we've got the House of Drift at Irwindale. Texas first. I mean, what can we expect out of that event as far as as far as the track? I mean, what are you looking at for these drivers?
Well, Texas is traditionally a very fast, high-speed course, a lot of action. It is a very interesting layout. In the sense that we are using a road course within Texas Motor Speedway and then bringing in external grandstands to accommodate the fans. But this year we're actually contemplating a layout change, and we haven't decided what that might be, if it's going to be a layout change or not. But it is something that we're looking at to take some of the areas of the course that we felt are not necessarily exemplary, and try to make it more exciting and fair for drivers. It's a really, really fast course, and it's got some really cool attributes, but it's also a little bit unorthodox in the way that it's set up. So we're thinking about making some adjustments to that. So if we do that, it will be an equalizer for a lot of the teams. It'll be a new opportunity for everybody. All the old data will get thrown out, and people will have to come fresh for that event.
Yeah. Then looking at obviously Irwindale, I mean, it's a little bittersweet going there. What are we looking for at the House of Drift? I mean, obviously this is one everybody should come out to. I think everybody already knows that, but I know this one's going to be special.
Yeah. There's a ton of rumors swirling about the venue, obviously, and we don't even know what the outcome is going to be. For that particular, track in the long term, who knows? We could get to the end of this year and they say, hey, we want to do it another year. But in terms of the competition, it's obviously going to be very special in the sense that it could be the last event ever there. Tickets go on sale today, I think, in a couple hours. So we're obviously expecting a big crowd for that event, and Irwindale has a special place in everybody's heart. So obviously, I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. Well, and going back a couple of weeks, I know we didn't get, obviously you guys were overseas. We didn't have you on air after Japan, but how was the first overseas world round this year, the one at Fuji, Japan? How did that go? I mean, what was the reception you guys got there?
It was pretty good. I mean, we another rain event, funny enough, but this is the second year we've done that event, and it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. It had a nice attendance. The competition was really interesting because it started off super, super slow. Drivers were having a hard time adjusting to the track conditions that were ever changing. It was going from really, really cold to really, really hot, and so the track was getting super drifty, and so we were seeing a lot of different things transpire. But in terms of the overall competition, it was pretty fun by the time we got to head-to-head. And saw some of the battles come through, and Houde really shined through in a field of well-vetted Japanese drivers and other drivers. So, I think it was a good outcome. We'll definitely be going back there next year, whether we go to Fuji or somewhere else. Japan is definitely on tap.
Yeah. Well, and then, the rest of the world calendar, obviously just kind of getting those overseas rounds kicked off with Japan, but you still have Canada on tap coming up in September. And then I guess it's a to-be-determined event in China. But Canada, I mean, that one, it seems like anytime anybody throws down a major motorsports event in Canada, I mean, people come out of the woodwork. So I'm expecting big attendance for that one, huh?
It's one of the Canadian event is one of the best events I think I've ever been to. And it was last year was its first year. It's on a holiday weekend for Canada, as it is for the U.S. And so the event takes place on a Sunday, Monday. It's unbelievable. I can't even really give it due respect to the level that I'd like to verbally, because you really have to be there. I mean, yes, tons of people come out. They camp overnight. So there's basically a 24-hour kind of like party gathering thing going on. And then they're the nicest people you've ever met in your life. I mean, they're loud and crazy and fun, and they know they're drifting. It's really special. It's kind of like a Road Atlanta vibe, but with camping, if you could imagine that. So if anybody's been to Road Atlanta, it's very similar.
Yeah. And then China capping things off. Do you guys have any more info, or when can we expect some info, kind of released on that?
I hope that we can get some stuff out in the coming weeks or months. The venue and the location have basically been set. They've given that to us, and we need to go out and see it. They're getting a little bit of a late start on that, but it's part of the learning experience within dealing with the Chinese and how they do things. But looks right now like it's going to be in southern China. There's a 3-week window of the event sometime. Probably my guess would be in December at some point, possibly New Year's Eve, and hopefully within the next few weeks or so, we can actually get some information on it.
Very cool. Looking forward to next year. Obviously, it's very preliminary now, but any exciting. Obviously, I know you can't share things with us, but anything kind of in the works that going to excite some fans?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of the same events, obviously, but there's a couple of things that are on the docket that we're looking at and possibly announcing at SEMA. Obviously, there's the elephant in the room is, what's going to happen with Irwindale. And I think, for most of the fans out there, we'll basically know or not, by the time we get to the end of the season, what the deal is. And if we don't know and they keep operating, we'll have to make some tough decisions potentially. But it's interesting to see how it's all going to play out. The schedule will probably, be 7 events for the U.S. and 3 international events, plus other things that we're doing, demonstrations and whatnot. So, but we'll have some stuff to announce at SEMA before then.
Nice. And before we let you go, buddy, any closing thoughts from Washington?
No, I mean, I guess the takeaway here is just, kind of where we're at in the championship and, just how amazing that venue is and that crowd is. The audience is awesome, and there's definitely something to be taken away from, the strategy employed by the teams that did really well at this event. So I think I'm looking forward to what round 6 is going to bring us.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looking forward to that. And as you said, tickets on sale, I believe, today, correct?
Yeah, tickets for Irwindale should go on sale probably in the next couple hours. Yep,
awesome. And Texas Motor Speedway on sale currently. And, definitely get those. And if you can't, tune into the live stream.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ryan. Take it easy, and, we'll catch up soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Jim. Thanks. All right, that was Ryan Sage of Formula Drift calling in. Formula Drift post-event interview, breaking down everything from Washington, up there, Monroe, Washington, and talk about an awesome event, Evergreen Speedway, and give you the quick rundown. Obviously, Frederick Osbo taking home that victory. It's Frederick, he is definitely dialed in this year. Alec Honadell, new name there on the podium. Stoked to see the young gun, 19 years old, and doing it to it. And like we'd said, look at that bracket. I mean, obviously he got knocked out by Osbo in the final, but he knocked out JTP, Justin Pollock, Daigo Sato, Forsberg, it's just Moen in his first round. I mean, talk about a tough bracket. He earned that podium for sure. And then JTP Justin Pollock, he finished up in 3rd position. And then Pat Gooden, king of spring break, he was there also in the Final Four. So stoked for him. It's definitely been been a while since we've seen him in in a Final Four there. So stoked to see him there. Other notables: Ryan Turk getting knocked out by Stoneback in the first round. Turk qualifying second. And, getting knocked out by a 31 seed. So tough break for him, especially in that championship hunt. Still mathematically in it, but he definitely going to be tough these next couple of rounds. Looking down, Yoshihara knocked out in the first round by Essa. That was a tough one for him. And then Mad Mike taking out Forrest Wang in the first round and then getting knocked out by Von Gittin in the second round. Osbo ended up knocking out Gittin to make his way into the Final Four. And then other notables, just looking, Ken Gushi getting knocked out by McQuarrie. And, that's about it. But solid event up there. Washington, I don't care what it is. If it's rally events, if it's it's been a while, but once in a while they have major Supercross events up there. Just Washington, they love motorsports up there, and you would think a lot more organizations, and racing sanctioning bodies and people involved with motorsports would promote events up there in the Washington area. I know just from the 2 Rally America events we had up there, just packed, both in Oregon at Portland, which is a few-hour drive from Seattle, and then the one in Olympus. It's just I don't understand it, man. I see Washington as solid gold as far as events, and and it seems like sometimes people take these organizations turn a blind eye to it. I don't get it. It's just people up there, they turn out, they support the events, and you would think you'd see a lot more of it. Formula D, case in point, round 6, Monroe, Washington. They were definitely packed house, dialed in, even despite the rain. But, great event up there. Your point standings right now, Osbo, he is currently leading with quite a lead, about 76 points over Ryan Turk in second. And then Turk and Houde, they only have about 4 points separating them. So pretty close between 2 and 3. And then Ken Gushi, he is sitting in fourth, few points back of Houde. So solid event so far. Solid season, I guess, for Formula Drift, I should say. Just an absolute amazing season they've had so far. And then looking at Pro 2, we'll give you that rundown real quick. But James Evans taking home the win there in Pro 2 up there at Evergreen. Alex Halbrin taking home second, and then Farouk Kuge, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, taking home third spot and that last and final podium. So, great event up there. Tickets on sale now for the event in Texas. Tickets go on sale later today for Irwindale. Could be the last time we see Formula Drift at Irwindale. Hate to say that, but it could be the last time we see Formula D at the House of Drift. Lots, like Ryan said, lots of rumors swirling about Irwindale Speedway, not quite knowing what's going to happen there. I hope Irwindale stays open and everything, business as usual. So many great events happen at Irwindale, not just Drift. I mean, just that place has had so many major motorsports events. I mean, X Games has been there. It's just tremendous, and it would be a huge disappointment to see Irwindale go away. But business is business, so we'll definitely wait and see what happens. But you definitely want to get your tickets there October 9th and 10th. It's all going down at Irwindale, and it's going to be a phenomenal cap-off to an amazing 2015 for Formula Drift. So that was your Formula Drift post-event interview, and it was another wild one up there in Washington. We kind of had a lead into this show, and obviously Formula Drift. We've got Tanner Godfrey calling in, Rat Sult, Amy Houde. We had Motocross. We've got GRC results to get to. We just did our Formula Drift results, but we've got a ton of questions, a ton of you listener questions to get to today. We've been stockpiling these for at least a good month. I know I've got 3 really good ones sent in for me. Amy Houde's got a couple sent in to her. So if you got any questions right now, don't use the website where you guys normally do, but at JimBeaver15, shoot me over your questions. We will get them answered. Anything for me, Amy Houde, on anything Action Motorsports related, we will get them answered. So shoot them over. We got about 5 or 6 of them right now in the hopper that we're going to be answering later on today. Yeah, we definitely want to get to those when we get a chance. And let me know what you guys did this weekend. I want to know. Hit me up. Love interacting with you guys while we're on air. Always a good time. Like to know what's happening in your guys' world. What did you do this weekend? What motorsports events did you go to? You got to Motocross. They were banging it and banging bars in Washougal. We had Formula Drift up there in Washington. I want to know what you guys did. Love hearing from the fans and seeing what you're taking in or what you watched on TV or online over the weekend. So hit me up at JimBeaver15. Let me know. And, I'm stoked to say next week we are going to have an awesome show, a remote show from Dirtfish Rally School up there in Washington. I will be up at Dirtfish doing 3 days of training. Also going to have a couple of special guests with me up there, so you will definitely have them on air as well. But we'll be airing live from Dirtfish next Monday. There in Snoqualmie, Washington. I will have my good friend Levi LaValle. He's going to go and take in some rally cars with me. So who knows? Levi maybe get bit by the rally car bug, and who knows where that can lead. But anyways, Levi LaValle, he's going to be up there at Dirtfish with me. Cole Coutu, a lot of you know him from Terracross and Snowcross. He's going to be up there with us. And we've got some celebrity guests in-house there at Dirtfish. Tanner Witten, GRC Lights winner over the weekend, and your current GRC Lights points leader. He's going to be up there, and we're going to have an interview with him. And who knows who else is going to pop in up there at Dirtfish. I know we got a lot of stage rally guys up there in the area. And always fun to catch up with the owner of Dirtfish, Steve Rimmer. So who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be a great show up there at Dirtfish Rally School next Monday. So you definitely want to tune in for that. But right now we're going to take a short commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have an interview with Rat Sult. So you definitely don't want to miss that when we come back. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris RZR. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, here on another Monday morning. And right now, calling in my next guest. A lot of you may know the name from X Games a few years back, but he's also promoting some off-road events. I'd like to welcome Rat Sult to the air. How's everything going, Rat?
Good, Jim. How you doing?
Everything is good, man. I gotta ask you. You know, this off-road nights. I know I've been around the industry for a long time, and it seems like, especially last year, this event really starting to grow in Southern California and really spreading out throughout the Southwest.
Yeah, it has. You know, we've been blessed. We got the off-road family behind us. You know, we started out in Old Town Temecula the last few years, and this last year they said it was too big. So we just had too much things going on, too many semis, and not enough action. So this year we're taking it to the Temecula Promenade Mall, which is just about a mile away, right off of Winchester there. And, yeah, we got Robbie Gordon coming out with his SST trucks. He's actually going to personally be jumping a truck. We got more action. We got live music all day, giant kid zone. We got the off-road car show going on. You know, we got exhibits, displays, race teams. It's going to be, you know, it's one of those events where it's more laid back. People go to an off-road expo. It's like, they have to sell. Here it's like they come out, they sell, they have a good time, and just bring the whole off-road community together, which really makes this event kind of one-off and a little special.
Yeah, and looking through the stuff, it seems like it's really a merger of, not just desert racing. You got short course, UTVs, rock crawling. Everybody from the two-wheel community. Mixing a little action sports in there and music. I mean, it seems like it's just a good time and mixes, the full circle of all things, off road.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I wanted to do, is just bring everybody together. We have our Desert Awareness Zone, my nonprofit, the Off-Road Nights Foundation, actually putting the event on, so we're going to have plenty of information on our deserts and parks and try to raise some money for that side of things as well. But, it's just really growing. It's a little bit of everybody, like I said, to bring everybody together where we could come and everybody kind of sees the other genres of off-road. Some people don't go to the sand a lot. The new buckshot cars will be there, and they're going to see some of the best, and vice versa. So that's what we try to do, just make it well-rounded. And to introduce people to off-road, that's the big push, the outside marketing, getting the people that aren't into off-road to come be able to see all sides of it and, decide maybe what they want to get into.
Yeah, and what I think is cool is, taking this to Temecula. Temecula kind of the heart of, off-road community in Southern California. I know there's a lot of guys from the two-wheel community that, that live there, ride there. You've got Lake Elsinore, the short course track not far away. So, definitely a solid spot to have it. And, I think it's, from what I understand last year and hearing you talk about this year, man, this thing is definitely blowing up.
It is. We're excited. Just an overwhelming response this year. We have more vendors, more displays. It's 3 times the room. So if anybody out there is listening is near SoCal, come out and hang out. It's going to be a great, great event. And we're in wine country, too. So people come for Saturday, bring mama. We got stuff there, and then take her to the wineries right after. It's just about a couple miles to all the biggest wineries around.
Yeah, definitely lots of good stuff going on in Temecula on a weekend. I got to ask you, obviously, you're involved in this event. You're doing a tremendous job with that. We kind of left the lead in. A lot of listeners know your name. I know I've followed you forever, had the opportunity to, meet you out there at Glen Helen a couple weeks ago. You were synonymous with the X Games and, in street luge in particular. How'd you go from that to where you're at now?
Oh, yeah, the luge and downhill skateboarding, that was a fun time for sure. But I started out, my dad was an off-road racer, so I've raced with him since I was about 13, always out in the desert. And, he's had off-road cars, he's raced dragsters. So I've kind of been into the other side of things. And even during the X Games, I was doing some off-roading. But after, I actually raced for Kawasaki. And, we got third in Baja and kind of moved into some more cars. And I've been racing some cars over the year, and living in Temecula here, it's like, hey, like you said, win-win. This is the action sports off-road capital of the planet in my book. It's like everything's within a rock's throw. So I decided, hey, start doing some cruise nights here, started doing some Wednesday nights. In the last couple of years with the city backing it, it just blew up. And, yeah, just a great place to be doing it, I think, is what is kind of the magic as well.
Yeah. What's, obviously this thing just keeps growing and growing. What's, I could almost honestly see this, as a twice-a-year type of thing. It seems like it's getting so big.
Yeah, definitely have some plans in the works for next year, maybe taking it to a couple different places. So can't really let anything out now, but definitely going to try to do a couple of them in completely different areas.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we're going to go, but definitely one here and maybe 1 or 2 somewhere else. So definitely keep your ears open for that. We're trying to do more things and for the off-road community. And, there's nothing else really like it. There are the different expos and things, but they're kind of more specific, where I like the fact that we bring the action sports, the music, the kids, the family. We got the dirt lifestyle zone where, some clothing, and it's just a little bit of everything, something for everybody. That's what's unique about this event.
Yeah, well, and speaking of that, I know a good friend of mine, Brittany Lugo, she ended up winning Miss Off-Road Nights last year, so you got that going on as well.
Miss Off-Road Nights, yeah, Brittany, she's great. She'll be out there representing for her last time as we crown the new one. She's helping out on that. So, yeah, with the car show, we have everything from, like you said, trophy trucks to trophy carts and everything in between. And Miss Off-Road Nights competition. We have some other awards, some raffles, and just lots of fun free giveaways and things to do and look at for sure. So, Yeah, once again, everybody come on out because it's going to be a great show. You're not going to want to miss Off-Road Nights.
Yeah, for sure. So anybody that wants to get some more info on the event and wants to come out, maybe one of the ladies wants to enter Miss Off-Road Nights. I mean, where can they go and get all the information?
Yeah, right now the best place to go. We had some issues with our website, unfortunately. So right now, Facebook, you could always just message us on Facebook, or go on. We're always posting the updated information and. Could send any information to anybody that needs anything for sure. And we still have space available in the car show, so we've got a few spaces left that's filling up fast. So if anybody wants to do that, check us out on Facebook, shoot us a message, and we'll get the information to you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Rat, and I know you're awful busy with this event coming up, but like I said, I wish I could be there, but I've got a few other things going, but it seems like it's going to be a great event, and we'll have to get you on sometime afterwards and kind of recap, see how things went.
Yeah, sounds good. Appreciate the call, and yeah, have fun out there, and wish you could make it, and I know you'll be at the next one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Count on it, buddy.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you somewhere in the dirt.
All right, sounds good. Keep it dirty, buddy.
All right, bud. Thanks.
You
Talk
too.
to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Always fun catching up with Rat Sult. This is a guy that, he literally has done a lot in his career. Like I said, at the beginning of the show, you know him from Street Luge. Man, back in the day, him and Biker Sherlock, kind of the faces of Street Luge, and those guys just dialed in and, and they had some battles. I mean, absolute battles in X Games when Street Luge was part of that, and then downhill skateboarding as well. But now he's involved in promoting some off-road events, and stoked to have him in the off-road community. I know I was talking with him out of Glen Helen at the Lucas Oil Regional Race a few weeks back, and he's still very much involved in Street Luge and downhill community, and I think they go out and bang some hills. Probably I don't know, once a month or something like that. But it sounds like he's still very much involved in that as well. It's just kind of fell out of the public eye. It's kind of more underground movement now. But definitely a good dude. And the Off-Road Nights, I mean, they've got social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously their website, having some problems, but definitely go and check it out. If you're in, SoCal, here in another week, you definitely want to make your way out. Great way to spend a Saturday, have some fun, take the family out, and should be an awesome event by anyone's standards. So, but right now, we're moving forward, and it is time for our Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web, www.dirtfish.com. And I will be up at Dirtfish next week. Packed class. I know I put out all the info with a discount code, so those of you who took me up on the offer and are actually taking the class with me, it's going to be a lot of fun. Those of you who missed out, we'll have to do it again sometime, but definitely looking forward to it. And, some of you that, may have not signed up under me, you're going to have one heck of a surprise when me and Cole Couture, Levi LaValle show up and are taking a 3-day with you. So going to be a lot of fun up there at Dirtfish. But Red Bull GRC, Detroit, Michigan, all going down this past weekend. And doubleheader, and doubleheaders are scary. Scary for the drivers and the teams because you can have big, huge point swings in one weekend, in Red Bull GRC. And going into this, Ken Block, your championship leader, and he definitely wanted to keep that streak alive. Going into the first round on Saturday, Ken Block did it once again, 10 laps, and led 10 laps. And his laps, I guess the fastest lap of the final went to I'm just looking down here, Steve Arpin. Steve Arpin throwing down the fastest lap of the final, but Steve finished it up in 7th. But Ken Block, the head Hoonigan, taking home that victory. Scott Speed finding his way back to the podium. Talk about an up and down year for Scott Speed in that Volkswagen. When that thing's on, it is way on. But when it's off, man, they're just non-existent. They had some troubles, some mechanicals this year. Clawing back, though. Scott Speed taking a podium. And, there you go. Sebastian Eriksson, super consistent, reminds me of Yoni Weeman from last year. He's definitely factoring into that championship points hunt, taking another podium in third. Brian Deegan making another appearance in that Ganassi car. He finished up in fourth. And Yoni Weeman, last year's champ, he was in fifth. Austin Dine continuing his very impressive season, finishing up in sixth. Mr. Consistent just keeps finding those finals and finding those points and clawing away, and solid finish for him. Looking very much like the veteran this year, and definitely, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest surprise of 2015. Steve Arpin in seventh, Nelson Piquet Jr. in eighth, and then Patrick Sandell, Tanner Faust, both not finishing, as well as Nelson Piquet. Tough break for Patrick. I mean, he was ridiculously fast this weekend, and then in the first Detroit round to get knocked out, definitely tough. But Patrick, he has been on point all year long, and just talk about bad luck and troubles chasing this guy. I mean, his speeds are. Patrick reminds me of Ken Block a couple of years ago. Remember Ken? He was winning all these heat races. He'd start front row in the finals, and then somehow trouble would find him. And he just kept getting knocked out. I mean, it was just bad luck and troubles, and it wasn't because of his talent or his speed. It was just bad luck, and Patrick has had that this year. Bad luck chasing him, plaguing him. It's just been tough. I feel bad for the guy. Honestly do. It's just been tough. And then the first Detroit round for lights. I should mention, though, Ken Block, that victory makes him the all-time winningest Red Bull GRC driver. So I believe Tanner Faust, Scott Speed were right up there in that mix. But anyways, Ken Block, sole claim to the most victories ever in Red Bull GRC. So you got to give the head Hoonigan some credit. He is now the winningest driver of all time in Red Bull GRC. And what I think is the most impressive about this was that a year and a half ago, I called the race in Vegas, and I called his very first victory ever. He went through the first couple of years of Red Bull GRC because of these troubles and these problems, and the bad luck situations he found himself in without a victory. So that shows you how dominating, since he got that first one in November a year and a half ago, how dominating he has been since. Absolutely just laying down the gauntlet. He is the fastest man in Red Bull GRC by far. But moving on to the lights, Tanner Witten, our boy from Dirtfish, he will be a guest next week on air with me. He was your points leader going into this weekend, comes away with a big victory. Tanner Witten, the first one for Dirtfish Motorsports, a big deal for those boys up there in Seattle. But congratulations goes out to Tanner Witten taking on that first victory. Miles Maroney in second in the Dreyer and Reinbold car. Olsberg driver Austin Cindric in third. Alejo Fernandez, Oliver Erickson. And then we've got Chung Wong, Colette Davis in eighth. Alex Keys ninth. Noor Ali in 10th. And Gavin Harlian did not start. He was in 11th. And, you know that name from short course, making the transition to Red Bull GRC. Stoked to see Gavin make that transition. We'll see how it works out over the course of the rest of this season. But moving on to the second round at Detroit, Patrick Sandell rebounding and taking home that victory. And, it wasn't easy this one either. Went out and he got knocked out in the first corner, found himself in ninth position, literally just got punted. And since he was on the front row, and they ended up red flagging it because of Tanner Faust, who also got caught up in that madness. They ended up doing a full restart. Patrick ended up leading and winning the thing. So it looked like Patrick, after that first corner, was another 9th or 10th place finish for him. But boy, were we wrong, battling back and finishing up with a victory. Congrats to him. Scott Speed, yet another podium on the weekend. Got to feel good for those Volkswagen Andretti boys, to get back in the groove. And then Sebastian Eriksson, another podium for him as well. He just keeps clicking those points off, and, hitting those podiums. And, man, he's I tell you what, he's going to be right there with Block at the end of this year. Yoni Weeman in fourth. He's got to feel good about that. Brian Deegan, another solid finish for him. Austin Dine, and then Ken Block in 7th. Bucky Lassick in 8th. And then PK and Tanner Faust did not finish. So your Drivers' Championship right now for the GRC Supercars looks like Ken Block, the head Hoonigan, he is leading. Solid lead over Sebastian Eriksson in 2nd, Austin Dine in 3rd, Yoni Weeman, Scott Speed, PK, Arpin, Sandell, Faust, and Sverre Isaacson rounding out your top 10. But right now, the head Hoonigan did what he needed to do, went in, got the points, got a win, and got those heat race points. And, I believe on the first day he got maximum points for the day, and that's definitely what he needs to do this year to take home his first ever championship in Red Bull GRC. Miles Maroney, he ended up taking a victory in GRC Lights in the second round of Detroit. Alejo Fernandez second, Austin Cindric, Nura Ali, and Brian Wong rounding out your top 5. Colette Davis, solid finish in 6th. And then we got Erickson, Harley, and Chung, and Tanner Witten all DNFing. So a tough break for all of them. Your Drivers' Championship for GRC Lights at the moment. And looks like Austin Cindric with that struggle with the Dirtfish team, even after the victory, with the struggle with the Dirtfish team there in that second race. Austin Cindric now takes the lead. We got Alejo Fernandez 4 points back of him. Miles Maroney looks like 5 points back, and then Tanner Witten, he is down there about 16 points back of Cindric. So definitely anybody's game at this point. Just what that did was just narrow the gap, and solid effort by all these teams. This Lights Championship, this turned into one heck of a battle this year. This is what Red Bull GRC needed. This is what they wanted, and it's finally coming to fruition. A few years in, and got all these young guns, all this young talent there competing, and as we've seen, the kids that do lights, they can definitely move up and be successful in supercar. We've got Austin Dine, Yoni Weeman, Sebastian Eriksson. All of them spent their time in the lights and doing very well in supercars at the moment. So, that was Red Bull GRC for this weekend, and I got to tell you, man, it was definitely a solid weekend of racing, and looking forward to the next one in Washington, D.C. in just a few weeks. So this is the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. That was your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week. And I am your host, Jim Beaver. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Tanner Godfrey, your new world record holder, longest jump in a UTV. He's going to be calling in, and we're going to be dissecting that and talking Evel Knievel days right after the break. So stay tuned to the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. We'll be back.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at kmcwheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to upgrade the brake system on your race car, pre-runner, or weekend toy? J-Mar Performance Brake Systems has you covered. An industry leader in performance braking systems, J-Mar can outfit your vehicle with the highest quality American-made calipers, rotors, master cylinders, hubs, turning brakes, and shifters for Volkswagens to trophy trucks and everything in between. For more information and their full product line, visit J-Mar on the web at jmarperformance.com or follow them on Instagram and Twitter at J-Mar Brakes.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, and man, fun show so far. We had our Formula Drift post-event interview with Ryan Sage calling in. Then we had Rat Sult with Off-Road Nights, talk some Red Bull GRC, some Formula Drift, and up next, we're going to be talking some Razors with our new UTV long jump world record holder, Tanner Godfrey. He's going to be calling in just a few minutes, and I got to tell you, Evel Knievel Days happening, and man, him and you know, his uncle Greg throwing it down. Tanner jumping over 200 feet in a Razor 1000 UTV, and Greg jumping a semi-truck to a new semi-truck world record. So, man, the Godfrey Clan well represented up there at Evel Knievel Days, and definitely throwing it down. I want to mention right now we're going to take some questions after Tanner's interview. I've been talking about that big Q&A segment. I got a ton of them stacked in here for me, and Amy Hood's got a few for her segment as well. We've been stockpiling them over the past couple of weeks, and we're finally getting to them, I know. But anybody wants to get in some last-minute questions, shoot me a tweet at JimBeaver15. Hit me up, and we'll definitely get those answered. You know, we'll talk anything. Motocross, snowcross, off-road, rally, drifting. I don't care. You just shoot me. I'll talk about anything. You know me. It doesn't matter. I'll pretty much answer anything, you know, as well. So, yeah, should be fun. Also want to make mention, definitely a sad note, but Oscar Ramos, score attorney down there in Mexico, he passed away last week, and definitely a sad one. Anybody that's raced score, raced in Baja, You probably know Oscar. He's helped a lot of people tremendously down in Baja, and he literally was the man behind the scenes that made racing in Baja tick for all of us racers and for SCORE. Longtime good friend of Sal Fish, has been with SCORE for a long time. That transitioned into the Roger Norman era, and definitely a sad day for the off-road racing community to lose Oscar. And man, he was the liaison that made a lot of racing in Baja happen. Him being a Mexican national, he talked with these ranch owners and landowners down there, and made things happen behind the scenes. So I'm sure that off-road racing in Mexico will continue on just as it always has been, but just know that SCORE and the off-road racing community have lost Oscar Ramos, and definitely a sad day for the off-road racing community. So Godspeed, Oscar, and we'll see you on the other side, my friend. But that being said, going back to talking some Godfrey Clan over the weekend, a lot of you Evil Knievel days up there in Montana, it's kind of a nod to all things Evil Knievel, and pretty much a bunch of Evil Knievel fans, and and people that just live the life up there, and it's a great festival of all things Evil Knievel. But right now, Tanner Godfrey calling in. How's everything going, Tanner?
Going good. How are you guys doing?
I am doing good, but I got to say, my friend, congratulations goes out to you, buddy. You flat threw it down over the weekend.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, I know you had told me, I think last time we talked in person, it was at the UTV World Championships, and you guys were out there, kind of hanging out, and you told me you were gonna go after it, and I think originally, like, you guys were talking about April or something. It kind of got pushed back to Evil Knievel days, but how'd this whole deal get to put together, and how'd the idea come about?
Oh, the idea was just kind of, as it kind of progressed further and further, I wanted to be the one that hit 200 feet first. I just wanted to be able to say I jumped 200 feet, because I never even thought about going that far in a motorcycle, and we just were kind of trying to do an event out of it, and then it just kept getting pushed back further and further, and then I got a call from Uncle Greg, and he said, "Hey, would you be interested in jumping at the Evil Knievel days?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll think about it." And a couple of days later, I get a text from Evil's daughter, and she's like, "We're so excited to have you come up and jump." And I was like, "Well, I guess I'm jumping."
Well, that's Greg for you. You just I'll think about it means yes in his mind, right?
Yeah, and so we actually, last Monday was the first practice jump I'd done at anywhere close to a distance. So I had one practice jump before we went up there, and then we ended up getting a few more practice jumps in at 5 o'clock on Friday, and the closest I got was 180. And I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to pin it. So the showtime rolled around, and that's what I did. I held it wide open from the start to the tip of the lip, and somehow managed to clear 200.
Yeah, I mean, that thing, I was impressed. Even your practice jumps, I think you guys threw one up that was like 120 feet, and I looked at that and I went, man, that just seems far in a razor to me, and at 120, and then the thing, you almost doubled that. That's just it's just crazy.
Yeah, it was. Well, the gap was 120 feet, so I was going like 140, because 120 kind of would have been bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. It was a good experience. I mean, that was a stock motor in the Razor and stock clutching. I just had I had Fox suspension and HCR A-arms and trailing arms and stuff. So for the most part, it was a stock machine going as fast as you go.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just impressive, and tell me a little bit too, because in the video, with the throttle control, how was that working the throttle with your hand? I mean, was it? I mean, you've probably got it down pretty good by now, right? But I was pretty impressed. I mean, you were feathering the throttle in the air and everything.
That's all I've been driving since day one of driving them is with the driving stick. So I'm pretty used to it now. It does get a little sketchy for passengers sometimes because I tell them I got 3 options. I'm either going to hit the gas, the brake, or the floor. And so if you hear a thump, 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 that means I'm missing the gas and the brake and hold on.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I'm sure you can have a little bit of fun with some co-drivers too, right?
Yep, it just makes for an exciting ride.
Yeah, for sure. And so not only did you threw it down, but Greg, he also broke the record semi-truck jump, right?
Oh yeah, so I jumped, and then 10 minutes later, he walked out of Evel Knievel's bus that they just redone, and he had his Evel's cane and his helmet that he crashed at, I think, the Wimbledon Stadium. He crashed though, and so he walked out, and he was on cloud 9 anyways, because everyone's looked up to Evel, for the kind of the daredevil stuff. So he was on cloud 9 walking out of that, and then went and hopped in the semi. He did one test run to make sure he was up to speed, and then turned around and came back, and he was bouncing off the rev limiter at like 67, 68 miles an hour and just sent it, and ended up going 160 feet and landing pretty good. And when he landed, it bounced the front end so hard he willied like 100 or like probably 100 feet after it, and then it ended up breaking the engine mounts on the motor, and it busted the airlines for the brakes. So, and it popped the right front tire, so it ended up drifting it into a curb, barely missing a building. And then he came up on the landing to stop and jump on top of the truck. Well, he went to stop, and there was no brakes because the airlines were gone, so he drove right off the landing into the middle of the jump.
Jeez, yeah, it looked hairball. I mean, the thing jumped so smooth, and then when he landed, I mean, it looked like hairball to get that thing shut down and stop before it ended up taking something out.
Oh yeah, it was violent to say the least. He thinks he might have got a little bit of concussion because when he got out of the truck, he was a little dazed. You could tell, but it went good. I mean, it usually doesn't go that good to where we do 2 things and land both of them and walk away. Usually someone gets hurt, so. We were happy. Yeah,
it was definitely a good day for the Godfrey Clan, right? Everybody got to go to sleep that night instead of the hospital?
Yeah, I was extremely happy.
Yeah, right. So you tell me a little bit. I know you guys have you started doing some stuff in razors. I know, obviously you guys were out at UTV World Championship, but it sounds like you guys have started doing some fun stuff up there. I know in Utah and some razors and stuff like that. How did the whole relationship with Polaris come about?
It's come about awesome. It's just getting better. It's Polaris is the reason I love Polaris is they're just so involved with their community of the UTVs, and they're always trying to make things better, and so I love them as a company. I mean, that's like, I don't really support people I don't care for, or not that, but it's just they're just so involved, and I love to see it when companies are like that. And so it's going good. We've got some ideas planned out and some other things, so it's only going to get better.
Yeah, so this definitely isn't the end. You guys definitely have some more fun stuff planned with them, and going to be doing some more projects.
Yep, there's projects in the making, and then just things kind of randomly pop up with us a lot, so yeah, there's lots of adventures left.
Yeah. Well, what's up next for you? I know you were out at the UTV, World Championship. We're going to see you doing any racing. You're going to take it easy for now, or what's up next for you? Can't really say take it easy. I mean, you guys, I don't think any of the Godfreys ever take it easy, right?
Yeah, our taking it easy is a little different than most, but yeah. No, it's for right now. We're going to do another charity event up here in Salt Lake at our place, and we're going to try to raise money for Warfighter Made, and we actually have a Razor 1000 that Polaris donated to Ralph Wolf to raise money for the Warfighter Made group, and just kind of give back to our warfighters and our veterans to kind of help them and raise awareness. So that's kind of our next big event that we're doing, and so
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, definitely a fun group to be involved with. I've got to know those guys at Warfighter Made, and definitely doing some good things for the veterans and stuff like that. So it's cool to see you guys involved with them as well. They're always up to something, and it's all good things.
Yeah, it's like I said, any way we can pay them back it's worth it. I mean, they've sacrificed for us, so we can help them out, and I've got a soft spot for the military, so
yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, and I also saw up there at Evil Knievel Days. I know, kind of take us through the whole event. I know Jolene and Tommy came out from Nitro, and they were representing. But what goes on there? Obviously, we know the two jumps, but kind of bring us through the week, because I've heard of Evil Knievel Days, but I've never been there, so I don't really know what goes on. I mean, is it just a big festival, all things Evil Knievel?
Yeah. So Friday night we jumped, and then they had races. They had a mountain bike race through the city, and it was in Butte, Montana, kind of the older part of town, and so it was really cool. These old brick buildings, and it's on a hill too, so they shut down a bunch of the roads and it was just a big party pretty much, and it was really cool. They had a whole bunch of different events. They had bands playing. They had everyone was just really nice. The police took us in, and they were really cool to us. And it's just kind of evil days, and it was so kind of the whole stuntmen. There was a lot of those. One guy set himself on fire and was running through boards. One guy Saturday night jumped the cart backwards 120 feet, I think, or 120 feet. And it was just a really good atmosphere. I mean, Motorhead's, they had a lot of stuff, so it was fun.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like it'd be a cool event to go to. Something always going on, and everything else. But congrats on the jump, man. I was pretty pumped when I heard you were going to do it. I know we talked about it, and to finally do it, go over 200 feet. I mean, that's sending it in a razor, man. I tell you, I wadded one up pretty good in San Diego, and. Yeah, I mean, jumping them sometimes isn't as easy as it looks.
Yeah, I saw your jump. That was a good crash you had there.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, man, learning the razor thing. I mean, I've driven razors, but not really raced them too much. It's a bit different than a trophy truck, and. Thing is, I've wadded them up. I've raced them 3 times now, and I've crashed them 3 times. So I'm not scared of crashing. It's just everybody goes, why do you keep doing it? I'm like, well, I've had some pretty bad crashes. I figure it can't get worse.
Yeah, they're pretty safe too for the most part. So that's just nice that you're going to be walking away at least.
Yeah,
for the most part. So
yeah.
And like I said, they're fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. I'm sure up there, especially about now, you guys have some awesome riding up there around Salt Lake and in the Utah area, huh?
Yeah, we've got Moab just a couple hours away. We've got the mountains. We've got the desert. We've got everything up here. So they're a blast all around. I like going in the faster, kind of wide open stuff, but anywhere you go, they're a blast. It's never a bad day when you're on a razor.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's a good place to end it with. But congratulations, buddy, and we'll definitely. I think I'm going to be up in Salt Lake at some point this winter, so we'll definitely have to give you guys a shot and go do something with the Godfrey Clan when I'm up there.
Yeah, for sure. Just give us a call and we'll go show you some fun.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Congratulations. Tell your Uncle Greg congrats for me, and we'll catch up soon.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, and have a good one.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot, Tanner.
See ya.
All right, that was Tanner Godfrey with the Godfrey Clan, and, man, they were sending it there at Evil Knievel Days. Man, those boys know how to have some fun, and, yeah, that's the easiest way to put it. Not only Tanner, but his uncle Greg Godfrey, who was one of the Nitro Circus founders along with Travis Pastrana. Man, they know how to have a good time, and 202 feet. It's all over social media, UTV Underground, Polaris Razor social media, the Godfrey Clans, Tanner's social media. Definitely go and check it out. 202 feet in a Polaris Razor. That definitely is no easy feat. So he dethrones R.J. Anderson, new current world record holder. So, I think that, originally the record was, there was somebody, the first person to jump 100 feet or whatever it was. I mean, this, over 200 feet, I mean, we're getting serious distances now. Just ridiculously serious distances in our Polaris Razor. So, I hate to say it, but, originally when you set a world record, it's pretty easy because there's nothing to go against. So, you get Guinness out there, whoever, and instantaneously, okay, I've got a world record. But then it starts ramping up. And so usually the second one isn't as bad either because the first guy just kind of phoned one in to get the record, right? So, the second person goes and does it. And but now we're far enough down the line where things get really, really far, and you really have to put your mind to it and get jump angles and speeds and everything else set right. And I think we're to that point where now it's serious business. If you want to go after this world record, you have to be on point or things get scary really, really fast. And it's going to be interesting to see, RJ wants to have the record back, and rightfully so. I mean, it's going to be interesting, though. Tanner set the bar 202 feet. It's ridiculously far. RJ, I'm not saying he can't do it. RJ is RJ, one of the best UTV drivers in the world. He's definitely going to have his work cut out for him. The bar has been raised, let's put it that way. So congratulations goes out to Tanner Godfrey and the Godfrey Clan. Greg Godfrey on his semi-truck world record jump. And, man, those boys are awesome people. Definitely give them a follow on social media. They've always got something going on, and good friends of mine, and and just stoked for them. Great time up there at Evil Knievel Days. Right now, we're going to get to a few questions before we go to break, and then Amy Houde's calling in. We're going to have some questions with her as well. Some questions here, and first one, I get questions from time to time, and we kind of stockpile them all. But this one from a few weeks back, and finally getting to it. But Nick in Charlotte writes me an email, and usually you fans, you want to ask questions, the easiest way would be either through my Facebook account, direct message me, or send them through the chat board. Or the contact form on the website, or you can hit me up on Twitter as well. But this is about torque, and Nick in Charlotte writes, kind of paraphrasing here, but basically wants to know about torque. Heard a rumor of torque changing hands, and also heard a rumor that Sturgis isn't going to be happening. Obviously, Nick must have been out at the Charlotte round, the Torque Charlotte round not too long ago. To dispel the rumors, Torque absolutely will be at Sturgis. I know that firsthand. Torque, I don't know how that rumor got started. Torque will be at Sturgis. Hands down, they're going to be there. Torque is at Sturgis. And then other rumor is that Torque changed hands, and that is incorrect as well. BJ Burtwell, good friend of mine, he is still very much in control of Torque. That's not to say that, Torque isn't for sale. I don't know that firsthand, but as of right now, this airing, to my best of my knowledge, and I've talked to firsthand with some people at Torque, BJ very much is still in control of Torque, and BJ, a good dude. I think he's done some great things with the Torque series, and there you go. So I don't know. I know I've heard these rumors in the past, and I don't like talking about rumors, but they've been floating around. But to the best of my knowledge, BJ and the Armory still own Torque, and I know for a fact that Torque Sturgis is happening. So there you go. Torque, doing some great things, man. I got to tell you, their live stream is second to none, and they've got some great venues. I love the Torque venues, Sturgis, and then you've got obviously Crandon. Charlotte's a great one. Chicago's a great one. Torque always doing some good things. Here's one from Mike in Vermont, up in Rally Country. He goes, "This is your first year with Rally America. How do you see the series, and what do you think that they can do better?" How do I see the series? I think it's a great series. Obviously we'd all love it if Pastrana and Block and Ramana and Chris Duplessis and all these guys were full-time in the series, but they're not. We need to be happy that Subaru's there. Subaru has some great backing of Rally America. Rally America has some tremendous rallies. I've got to see, 3/4 of them at this point, and some tremendous rallies. New England was absolutely off the hook. how do I see Rally America? Obviously, all series have room to grow. I think, I think they tried the TV thing. I think it was very, very expensive. And, and I know, anytime you buy TV time, it's, it's roulette, whether it's going to pay for itself. Obviously, in Rally America's case, it did not. But I think it's a great series. Obviously I think, entries have been pretty solid for a lot of the rounds. Obviously some of the big names haven't been there. ACP is another one. They're kind of running here and there, picking and choosing their races. That being said, if you look at off-road desert racing, a lot of us do the same. I pick and choose best in the desert races. A lot of guys pick and choose between best in the desert and score. Don't run the good ones, run the good ones. So, I think I can compare a lot of comparables between Rally America and Best in the Desert and Score. Not a lot of us run every single round. We pick and choose the big ones with the most marketability or the ones we deem most fun and go from there. So that being said, I don't know. I mean, that happens in a lot of motorsports. What can they do to improve? I think they've definitely made inroads this year in media and marketing. Obviously, bringing on the media people they have. And I'm not just talking about me. Hopefully you guys listen to Rally America Radio, but even if you don't, Rally America's done some great things with social media to push forward and content coming out. So, I think they definitely have taken a step in the right direction this year. Hopefully we can get some of those guys like Block and Pastrana back for more rounds next year. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I think Rally America has definitely taken a step forward, especially if you were at New England. I don't think anybody can argue with that. It was definitely a good event, very well attended, both from drivers and a spectator's point of view. So, definitely, all good things, I think, coming from Rally America. They've definitely taken a step forward this year, and here's hoping, in 2016 they take an additional step forward. Michelle in San Diego writes in, and this came from the website. GRC, is it Ken's year to win the championship? Honestly, I think it is. I think it's been his year last year. In the year before that, I think Ken is long overdue for a GRC championship. Over the past 3 years, he has absolutely been the fastest driver in GRC. 2 years ago, he had some troubles. This year, or last year, he was absolutely the fastest guy in GRC. And for one reason or another, and a little bad luck along the way, he didn't do it. This year, it's Ken's year. He's on point. He's winning races. He's finishing up at the front. Those guys are dialed in. I think at this point, and me, I don't like to play favorites, but if Ken doesn't win the championship, I don't know who is. I mean, those guys are he's on point. He is absolutely hands down the fastest driver in Red Bull GRC. And, I think there's no way he doesn't win this championship. I'm knocking on wood as we speak. But it's definitely Ken's year, and rightfully so. I think it's been his year for the past 2 years, and it just hasn't worked out in his favor. So, I'm putting my money on Ken Block to win the 2015 Red Bull GRC Championship, hands down, Michelle in San Diego. There we go. Those are my answers. We've got some questions for Amy Houde coming up when she calls in after the break. But anybody that ever has any questions at JimBeaver15, give me a shout, and we'll definitely get those on air. And thanks for listening so far. We're going to take a short break. Lots of fun with Tanner Godfrey. Lots more fun to come with Amy Houde after the break. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, and we will be back. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. Just got done with Tanner Godfrey, your new UTV long jump world champion, 202 feet in a Polaris RZR. No easy feat. And my mind's blown, man. He flat taking one from Jared Deanna, sent it. It was just, it was wild. Check out the video. It's a long ways in a Polaris RZR. Absolutely, ridiculously a long ways. And then, Greg Godfrey, in a semi-truck, just doing the same. You know, both of them world records and awesome. And I think my favorite line of the whole thing was Greg calls Tanner and, hey, do you want to jump at Evil Knievel Days? Okay, I'll think about it. I'll let you know. A couple days later, yeah, he's in. So, yeah, that is Greg Godfrey. For those of you that don't know him, you know, don't even show an inkling of interest, because if you do, you're doing it. That is Greg Godfrey's way. That is the Godfrey Clan's way. Nitro Circus, all of them, great people, but man, they like to push limits, and you got to love it, man. Between the Godfrey Clan and Nitro Circus, they are definitely pushing the limits of action sports and what we thought is possible, and that's the way they do it, you know. And I'm kind of scared to go hang out with those people, to be honest with you. No telling what I'll do. It literally is it makes you nervous. You know, you've heard about Pastrana Land, and you go there, and you know, pretty soon you're backflipping something. And I think the Godfrey Clan there in Utah is very much the same way. You don't quite know what you'll end up doing, and I think that's what makes everything so exciting, man. Nobody is safe when the Godfrey Clan's around. So. Yeah, we've also had kick things off with Ryan Sage from Formula Drift. We had Rat Sult calling in, and talk some Red Bull GRC on the weekend. And right now, Amy Houde should be calling in anytime. We're going to talk a little pro motocross. Got some questions for her, and I know she had a wild weekend. I think her dad even broke his collarbone at 60. Kim Houde, former factory rider for Honda Canada, is still killing it on a motorcycle, and sounds like he had an off. So we'll definitely have to get the lowdown from Amy on that. But man, this girl was all over the place this past weekend, and yeah, she definitely stays busy quite a lot like me, and you never know where she's going to pop up at or what she's going to be doing. I also think she had a friend up there from the U.S., so yeah, I think her mom posted something like they had 5 riders, 6 motorcycles in their pit this weekend at the motocross races. So definitely a busy weekend for Miss Amy Houde. Yeah, so yeah, you got any questions for her? Shoot me a tweet at JimBeaver15, and we will definitely get those answered. Yeah, she's always looking forward to questions. Got a couple of good ones. Going to put her on the spot on one of them. You know, and she's one that definitely loves to be put on the spot. So, yeah, and here it looks like Amy is calling in right now. So let's see if we can pick her up. How is everything going, Amy Houde?
Hey, how's it going?
You know what? I forgot to hit your music. So you want me to reverse this again? Totally spaced it.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. You better bust that if you don't pull that. I just like hearing it, to be honest with you. I totally spaced it when you called in. I saw it pop up and forget to hit it. But how was your weekend? How was your old man, first of all? How is Kim doing?
He's good, too. It's really, really funny. My poor dad broke his collarbone this weekend. So I was kind of like walking to the line to go check out the races, and everything was going like really quick, so I didn't even notice that he was out there. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, your dad crashed," and everybody knows my dad at the track, so everybody kind of, you know, loves the guy and respects him and stuff. So, yeah, he fell over, and he was up right away, so I ran over there, and I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like, "What hurts?" He's like, "Yeah, my shoulder kind of hurts a little bit." And then he goes and he puts his arm in the air, and he's like, "Yeah, see, I'm fine, totally fine." And he, like, starts to walk off. Then he's like, "Oh, okay, it kind of hurts a little bit." And then he takes his jersey off, and his collarbone is just right broken, like not even a clean break, like one bone on top of the other, and there's a lot of, like, bone chips in there. So I'm pretty sure, like, putting his arm up in the air didn't help any better. But the guy went to work today. I mean, this man, if you guys don't know who my dad is, he is 59 years old, can still beat half the pros out there. He is so fast and such a man of steel. Breaks his collarbone and then wakes up at 6 in the morning and goes to work today. I mean, he obviously can't do anything, but he's a roofer. So, I mean, he has an extremely physically demanding job, which is pretty much probably why he still races today. But, you know, he has guys in a workforce that, you know, they need to make money and my dad needs to make money. So, you know, he just took it like a champ and went to work. And, I mean, that just shows what kind of person he is. And he is, you know, such an inspiration. And, yeah, we don't know yet. We're going to probably find out on Thursday whether he needs to get a plate or screws or anything. But, yeah, poor guy. And it's so funny. Like, he's not even really that bummed out about work. He's not bummed about, you know, he kind of wrecked his bike a little. He's so pissed off because there's this huge vintage national race at Antler Lake once a year that he goes to, and it's coming up. And he's so bummed because now he has to miss it. That was his biggest concern. He's like, oh, I'm going to miss Antler Lake.
Yeah, he's like, that's a racer for you, though, right? Yeah, that's great. Well, good. I mean, I guess he's doing all right if he's at work. So I guess any worries we had are definitely gone now. You know, you have to keep us in the loop, though. Definitely a bummer for him.
I can't believe he went to work. I would like call my mom this morning, like, how's Dad? Well, he went to work. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, this stuff is nails.
Yeah, for sure. So how was your weekend? You guys were, so one of your friends up there from the States, right?
Yeah, my friend Kaylee McDermott is up here from California. But honestly, I swear to you, this weekend must have taken a good year or two off my life. It was wide open, nonstop, no sleep, bunch of babes, bunch of bikes, and bunch of racing going on. Like, it was action-packed, and like I'm feeling it today, as you can probably tell by my voice. But, no, it was a wild one. We just go nonstop. Like, that's the thing when you have guests over and, you know, new friends in and visiting. Like, you want to make sure they have the best time possible. So every single day we have something planned. And, yeah, that's kind of how this weekend was. On Friday, I did, like, a big kind of welcome to Winnipeg pool party at my house. I had all my motocross friends come, and I mean, the party went to like 3 in the morning. Even my parents are outside like partying with us. It was super funny, but we had to be up at like 6 in the morning the next day because we had to go to an all-girls ride day that my friend Jamie Burmy put on, which was really awesome. It was an all-girls learn to ride camp school fun ride out at her track, and all of us big girls from Manitoba who race, like, we all taught a class and, you know, taught the girls. And it was such an awesome event. It was really cool to be able to take my friend who's coming from, you know, a different country, you know, down south in California, and be able to bring her here for an all-girls ride day. It was just a really cool experience. Lots of little girls and lots of moms, actually. There's a lot of, like, you know, older women on 85 who, you know, have a bike and they just wanted to learn how to ride and wanted to kind of meet new people, and it was such an awesome event. So my hats off to my friend Jamie there who put it on. But then, after the girls' ride day, we loaded up, drove back to the city, loaded up my motorhome, and then drove to the races. So we didn't even get to the track till like 10:30 at night and had to unload everything. And then we raced all day yesterday. So that was basically the weekend, just nonstop going. And we're still going today. We're going to load the bike up and go out riding again when I'm done work. So our last day here, so we gotta go ride, obviously.
Yeah, I think your mom posted something. She followed me on Instagram, so obviously I followed her back. And she posted something like you had 6 bikes and 5 riders in the pits this weekend or something like that. I mean, it looked like you guys had a massive setup.
Honestly, and like, try having an old school Winnebago. Thank goodness we have air conditioning, because it was a hot one outside. It was about like 100 and something degrees. Like, it was crazy. Okay, not just 5 riders, there's 5 girls. And like I explained before, you know, us moto chicks are a very different breed. We're not like the typical motocross dude. I mean, we got the hair dryers and straighteners, and my whole kitchen table, like the little dinette table in the motorhome, was just makeup, like one giant makeup kit. All of our makeup was splattered everywhere, and we got sports bras and ponytails and everything. Like, it was just a disastrous, organized mess. Like, it was so funny. Like, someone just needs to have a camera and film us, like, a day at the races and kind of, like, see a behind the scenes, because it's super funny. It's just how we do things. Girls do things a little bit differently, but then throwing, like, a bunch of chicks race bikes, like, it's rad. It's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I know your weekend was pretty awesome. Kaylee, she posted something, and I didn't realize. Give us a little background on her, because she was up there, and she's pretty legit. But I didn't realize she was so small. She posted something that said like dynamite comes in small packages. I'm like, holy crap, she's small.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I got my friend Kaylee here with me right now. Let's bring her on. Kaylee, turn your music off.
You're literally putting her on the spot.
Yeah, no, my friend, she's only 17 years old. It was her first trip to a different country, so it's pretty cool. Kaylee, say hi.
Hello.
Hey, Kaylee. So I got to ask you, what were your parents thinking sending you to Amy Houde's, you're not even 18 yet, Man, I don't know. I question that. I love Amy to death, but man, sending you out of the country for the first time with Amy, that's questionable.
Well, she came to my house for San Diego Supercross, and they met her, and they loved her. They knew she was a good influence on me. They love her so much. And they totally trusted me. They know I love racing, and just getting to go out of the country to go race and, you know, going to go race with another girl who is inspirational and just like a big inspiration to me. And I don't know, they just trusted me and knew that I would love to do that. So here you are.
Yeah, I got to put you on the spot. So I know Amy, she's got to have like a block to step onto her bike at the starting gate, right? And you posted up a picture on it was Twitter or something this morning, and you're like, dynamite comes in small packages. So is your stepping block bigger than Amy's, or is it the same?
Yeah, we had to put 2 blocks. Yep.
Oh, so you've got Amy topped. Amy's at 1 block, you're at 2?
Yeah, she's about like 5'0" and I'm 5'3". So yeah, she totally beats me in this small peanut-sized factory there.
Oh, nice. So how was everything, Kaylee? How was your first taste of Canadian motocross?
It was good. It's a lot different than racing in California. All our tracks are concrete and dry, but it was definitely interesting to, you know, ride and race in new country and to ride in like 3 different tracks. And it was, you know, different obviously, but it was fun. Their tracks were, you know, a lot softer of soil and a lot muddier, a lot of ruts, but it was definitely fun and new to me.
Yeah, for sure. So what's up next for you, Kaylee? Obviously, I know you're from the Southwest. You know, it's hotter than heck down here right now. You know, what's up next for you once you get home? Where are you racing next?
Probably racing at Tahio or Paris. I'd like to race the Trans World races that they do, or Milestone, most likely.
Nice. So, Amy, you know, give us a lowdown. How did Kaylee do this weekend?
It was awesome. I mean, it's so funny because I feel like a little. I got my first experience of what it would be like to be a mom. Honestly, it was so funny. The first day we went, I took her to Grumsall, okay? And so my bike is really tall. My Olin suspension, which is absolutely prime, is really tall. Like, my bike actually sits a lot higher than it would if it was stock. And I've always lowered my bikes every year. I've always lowered them. But this year I'm like, you know, I'm just going to run it how it is. I find I can actually corner a lot better when I don't lower my bike. Just the setup is a lot different. But so my bike was super tall for her. So we took her out to Grumsall. I wanted her to get a little experience actually like riding a brand new bike before you race. I mean, I had the mistake of going over to Europe and riding a KTM, which I've never even ridden that brand of bike before, and then having to go race it without any practice. So I knew, you know, the best step would be to go try it out first. Took her to an awesome track of Grumsall, and then me and Ashley went and like tag teamed. I would go out in front, and Ashley would follow her behind, because you go to an open practice, there's like 1,000 squids out there just like who don't know what's going on, don't know how to look out for other riders, and just go balls to the wall. And so me and Ashley are like mama henning it, like guarding our little child from California, making sure no one runs her over. And then we'd like yell switch, and Ashley would go in the front and I would go behind her. And I mean, she held her own definitely. I mean, it's, you know, one of those sports that you can pick it up wherever you go, any bike or any new track, you just hop on and go. But you know, riding in different soil is a huge difference. So you really got to kind of like learn the terrain. But there was this guy. I was following Kaylee because I wanted to follow her and push her a little bit. And it was a good thing because I was following her, and there's this kind of double step-up jump that she wasn't hitting right away. So I made sure to kind of like go beside her just so nobody would land on her. And here's this guy in C-class who goes and hits it. And I mean, if you're going to go do a jump and someone else is not going to, you're going to land basically on top of them. And this guy, like, brushed me when he landed on the ground. And I was so mad. I pulled over and, like, cut the track to go in front of him. And I, like, pulled him over and just started yelling at him. I'm like, you got to watch where you're going. Like, we got new people on the track. If someone's not doing the jump, like, you don't go and do the jump. I just laid into him, man. Like, my motherly instincts came out. But, no, I mean, she was raced. I think she finished 7th overall. I mean, and we have a pretty stacked girls class, so it was awesome for her. She had some good battles out there. And, yeah, I think all in all, it was a really successful weekend. And It was cool to be able to have someone else come down. And I'm like, okay, who's next? Who wants to come here?
Yeah,
and
right.
that's us.
Nice. So, let's talk a little real quick before we get into some questions, Amy. Pro Motocross, you catch up on the results this weekend?
I did, actually, until when I wrote some notes here down in front of my face. But, it was a pretty crazy weekend. I know, Washougal is one of my favorite tracks. I had the opportunity to ride there, too, and it's really, really cool. I like Millville, and then I liked Washougal. There's kind of like my two favorite tracks because, Washougal, you're kind of up in this hilly area. There's lots of trees and in the forest. It's an awesome track, really nice terrain. But it was muddy. So it looked like the first moto was pretty darn gnarly out there for those riders. And I was texting a couple of my friends, and people were like, yeah, I'm throwing my goggles off. Oh, it was so bad. And I think in big bikes overall, dark horse there, Justin Barsha, slowly being able to put everything together. I think he had a 32-second lead over Dungey in the first moto, which is incredible. The guy's on fire. Like we were talking last week, he is races away from winning championships.
Yeah.
Dungey, Barsha, and Christoph Purcell in their third place overall finish. But, man, Ken Roxon still not able to get up in there, which is a bummer. But I'm super pumped, obviously, for my boy, Cooper Webb, going for a 2-1 overall. And then, Marvin Musquin is closing in on that gap on Jeremy Martin. I think he's only 4 points behind with 3 races left to go in outdoors. This is what I like, that chase to the championship. Now it is, every weekend you cannot make a mistake. These two guys, we're really going to see who can put it all together. When the heat is on, it really shows who's going to make or break. So I really hope Marvin wins this championship. I know he can do it.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Yeah, Marvin, he's definitely one of the best in the business. I think he wants to send it off on a high note before he moves to 450s, and what better way to do it, than an outdoors championship. I believe Trey Kennard back in action on 450s. He's been out for a while.
Yeah.
He's back. Solid finish, eighth for him. I guess right out of the gate, first event back. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, we got to, touch base on Christian Craig. I would love to bring him on this show because I think he would be such a cool person to talk to because the guy was leading. And keep in mind, everybody out there who's listening, this guy had a 9-to-5 job. He worked for his, father-in-law's construction company, literally a couple months ago. Then he got brought on to be a fill-in rider. And the guy is, leading races here. People just don't do that. All these guys he's beating, all they do is train all day, every day. And this guy just, he has such natural talent. So I really hope that he can sign on, full-time with Troy Lee. And I really think that he needs to be out there working as a professional athlete, not in construction. This guy's got some natural talent. It needs to be accounted for. So
yeah. Well,
I really hope he can get a ride next year.
Yeah, well, guys like that are dangerous because, they know they get one shot, and I think some of these guys, they take things for granted. They run around on a factory ride and sometimes they just phone it in and, I finished top 10. A guy like Christian Craig, this is one chance. He's out working construction. He gets the call. He's like, I got to make something of this, make a name for myself. People remember me and maybe get on. And he knows this is one shot, and he's got to make it count, and you got to love a guy like that with a grit, just to, he took a 4 and a 5. That's solid, and beating a lot of these guys that are, factory riders full time.
Exactly. Kaylee's over here nodding her head too. I'm sure she sees, everything living down in Southern California when she's out at the track. While the pros train there too, and she gets to kind of see their, their lifestyle and who's who and what's what. But that's how it is. I really hope he can get a ride next year because I think, with finishes like that, and for someone who has not trained all season and not prepared like these other guys have prepared, he is a threat. He could win, hands down.
Yeah, he's definitely. I'll reach out to him. We'll see if we can get him on for an interview. I think he's got a cool story, and we'll see if maybe in the next couple of weeks we can.
Dad. He's racing against these 17, 18-year-old kids who just all they can do is go ride all day. Like, this guy's a father. He's a young dad, too. I mean, that must be really, really challenging. And you don't see a lot of, top 250 riders out there who have the type of responsibility that he has.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we got to bring him on. Okay, we've already said we're going to get him on.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll reach out to him this week and see if we can do something. That'd definitely be some fun. So I got a couple of questions for you, sent in from some fans, and I like to stockpile them. And so I had 3 shot at my way, and one of them kind of puts you on the spot. Another one, kind of a fun question. So which one do you want first?
Oh, bring it. Put me on the spot. Let's
All
go.
right. This is from Sarah. This is from Sarah in Florida. How do you view the current Pro Women's Motocross Championship, and will we ever see you in it?
Oh, boy. Okay, well, I think we've kind of touched on this, on this before.
Yeah.
I think the Pro Women's Championship, or known as the WMX or WMA, I don't even know anymore, it did take a giant step backwards. I mean, it was gone for a year, and then it came back, and unfortunately, having that presence at the Pro Nationals, even if it's on a Saturday or, they're the fill-in race, they have one moto between the pros, at least you feel like you're at a professional event and you're considered to be a professional. And now, I mean, the women run with the amateurs, I think, on amateur events. I just don't think the level of professionalism that the WMX should be looked upon as is just not there. I know, everything kind of comes in cycles and waves, and there's so much talent right now. Like, the talent level of women racing is just at a new level than it ever has been. So to slowly get back to where it once was, to be able to race the same events as the guys, I think it will get there. I know there's a lot of girls who are pushing for it. There's the WMX petition that goes on. And, maybe one day that I would be able to help do something in some way, like the girls here in Canada did. A lot of 2 of the racers stepped back from racing to actually help put on the Pro Women's Series here in Canada. So to see me racing them, probably not likely. Like, I like to say I'm semi-retired in the sense where, I am just going a million miles an hour and have a lot of responsibilities where I don't have the means to be able to take that much time off to be able to race a series like that. It costs a lot of money, and it's a really big commitment. If you want to be competitive in any sport, I mean, there is a level of commitment that is just like you eat, breathe, and sleep racing if you want to win a championship. And I don't go and do anything to half-ass it. I go to win. I go because I know that I can, be a top runner and place well. But a lot of these girls are a lot younger. They got training facilities in their backyard, and they're 16 years old and don't go to school or homeschooled, and they can really, invest 100% of their time and effort training, and that's what you need to do. I mean, again, whether the girls race on the amateur, at the amateur series, even though they're pro women, they still invest 100% of their time. I know some of those top girls who are winning the WMX, and that's all they do. That's their main focus, and that's why they're so successful. So if you guys were to see me be a part of the WMX, I would like to be a part, more in helping to promote it and, maybe helping it grow next year. So that's what you'll see. Maybe I'll do one round, but yeah, I mean, I'm at that point where it's hard to go to the races not being prepared because I want to be able to ride at the abilities I know I can, but when you work all day and adventure all night, it's just hard.
Oh, all right. Question number 2. This one's kind of a cool question. Kind of put a smile on your face to cap things off. But this is from Courtney in SoCal. Okay. You're one of my favorite athletes, and I find you inspiring. Who do you look up to in this industry?
That's a good question. Well, for many years, I started off as that little girl whose dream was to race professional women's motocross and, to make a difference and to be someone that someone aspired to. Like, that was my dream when I was little, too. And growing up, I looked up to Sarah Whitmore and Jessica Patterson and Steffi Lyer. And I remember my first autograph ever. I was at Millville, and Sarah Whitmore gave me this autograph poster, and she wrote, "Good luck in your racing, like never quit or like always try hard or something." And that poster is still in my old bedroom at my parents' house. It was just really cool that, you know, these girls were at the pro race with the men, and they had their like a booth set up, and they were signing autographs. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them. But now, you know, my inspiration kind of shifts to all these people who live such a multifaceted lifestyle where they're racers and they're promoters and they're marketers and they're like brand ambassadors. I really look up to Renner, you know, our friend. He just does such a good job at being an athlete, and now I look to all these people who do so much more than just show up and race, you know, who are inspirations. And my whole First Form family, I can't forget about them. Like, each one of those people are so inspiring. They're just so positive, and you know, it changes every year. Like, there's new people that I meet, and you know, even are my friends. I'm like, oh my God, like, you're so awesome and you're such a good person. And yeah, so I think I kind of draw inspiration from all of these different people. But in racing growing up, it was a lot of the pro women. You know, I wanted to be just like them, and now I'm friends with them, which is really cool. So that's the best thing about the sport, is that, you know, your idols become your rivals and become your competition and then become your friends.
Yeah.
It's a cool little, like, circle of...
Yeah, exactly. And you can bang bars with them. You can bang bars with them, you know, and 20 minutes later you're you know, having beers with them. That's what I love about, you know, motorsports. It's definitely yeah, you don't see that in a lot of other sports.
I mean, it's cool too to bring my friend here from California who didn't know a single person, and now she's like leaving with 7 new best friends. I mean, my friends really adopted her into our group of friends. And, you know, even though we're all racing against each other, I have this really cool photo of me, Taylor, Ashley, and Kaylee, and we all, like, lined up beside each other, even though we're all each other's competition. We line up on the line. You know, when the gate drops, we're still there to, like, beat each other. I mean, I even tell Ashley, I'm like, I have no problem, you know, running you off the track. If it's coming down to it, like, I will get you.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then we're competitors on the track, and then we pull off and we wait for each other, and we're like, oh my God, it was such an awesome race. And it's cool. I mean, it's cool to have that. And that's what keeps me racing every year, is the fun involved with it. And that's why it was really cool to have Kaylee here, because she, you know, showed me that no matter where you come from, you know, our love for racing will always make us fit in wherever we go. We can find that group of people that we belong to, no matter where we go in life. So, little love lesson of the day.
For sure. So, yeah, it's been fun. We're kind of
we're getting so deep on your show.
I know.
It's just making me like tear up here.
Yeah. I told you, you and I need to do like an hour. We got to figure this out. You know, once.
I love dirt bikes so much.
Yeah. Oh,
but I do have to say, I mean, just so those listeners out there can hear this, I raced my 81 YZ 250 this weekend. Last time when I raced the 465, I just kind of went to a little, like, Mickey Mouse race. It wasn't anything big, but, you know, here when I'm in Manitoba, like, I got a lot of competition. The girls here are fast. So I was a little bummed out that I had to, Kaylee, like, lend my bike to Kaylee, because my top competitors were here this weekend, and I was like, oh my God, I got to ride this old piece of crap bike, like, dang it. But I got a good start in the first moto, and for some reason, I have no idea how, I made it to the front, and I led the whole race until the last lap, and then my main competitor, Jamie Burmey, she passed me. And then the second moto, I got third overall. But still, I mean, I man-powered that old bike, and I felt really comfortable on it. So I'm really thinking I'm going to sell my 250 and just go with the old bikes. I like them. They're way better.
Well, I know a lot of people will say that.
It corners like a dream. It corners like awesome.
Yeah. Well, you were telling me, I'm like, that's legit to be able to run up front on a 30-year-old bike. That's pretty legit. So props to you.
It's probably because I was having so much fun. Like, I was literally racing and yelling. I was like, woo! So exciting to, like, actually be in front on that bike. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Too funny. Well, next week when you call in, I will be sitting in Seattle up at Dirtfish with Levi LaValle doing some rally training. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to get you up there sometime and to spin some rally cars. You'll have some fun up there.
Sounds good. It sounds like you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, definitely will. But you have a great week, and we'll talk soon.
Alrighty, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. All right, that was Amy Houde calling in, and up there with her friend Kaylee McDermott. Gave her a tag on Twitter for those of you who want to follow her, another up-and-coming motocross racer. So sounds like they had a great weekend up there. Great weekend pro motocross. Quick results, obviously Cooper Webb, Marvin Muskeen, Aaron Plessinger, your 1, 2, 3, and 250 up there at Washougal. 450 was Dungy Barsha, Christopher Pacell, your 1, 2, 3 on the 450s. Upcoming events, we got some more pro motocross, winding that series down. We got Lucas Oil from Mexico. We got Torque coming at you from Sturgis. I'll be at Dirtfish, and we've got Rallycross from Canada, WRX from Canada, and Vegas to Reno coming up. Give a big shout out to Polaris Razor, General Tire, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish Rally School, UPR.com, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Jmar Performance Brakes, KMC Wheels, Parker Motor Company, Gibson Exhaust, MTX Audio, your official audio partner of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, Intense Tees, Amy, Rat, Tanner, Ryan from Formula Drift. Been a great show. Thanks to all of you for listening in. Give me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Down and Dirty Show, and at JimBeaver15 on Periscope. Give Amy Houde a follow at AmyHood71 on Twitter and Instagram. She's also on Facebook as well. Don't forget to download our app. I promise that new app is coming. Taking a little bit to develop it, but it is coming soon. Always fun with you guys. Give me a shout at JimBeaver15 if you ever have any questions. And, that's about it for today. And we will see you guys next week from Dirtfish Rally School. Game on.